0901 and let us know what's going on, and that you're enjoying us, and you can pledge your support for this kind of information and entertainment here at KKFI. So Miles, what's going on?
I'm just, I'm a jazz fan, and I'm a KKFI fan, and I'm excited to share what's going on at Kansas City Academy with you as well. But as you alluded to, I'm also involved with KKFI, and I do think it's a worthwhile thing to support. I'm actually the chair of the Community Advisory Committee, and as you mentioned, we're working on a new website right now for KKFI that'll be much more interactive, and I think will be a real asset to the listeners in a way that they can get more involved with the station. But I mean, these are real people on air, being honest with their own tastes in music, and I think that's very rare, probably on any other station for the most part in the city. So if you want to call and support, 888-931-0901 is one way to do that, as well as the website, kkfi.org.
So if you wouldn't mind, tell us some more about KC Academy and maybe your role there.
Absolutely. Brandon was the music director at Kansas City Academy, still is.
So this is a charter school, or is
it's an independent private school.
Okay.
So it's really independent only because we kind of choose how we want to address education rather than being political and mandated by anybody.
Okay.
So for that reason, it's a very creative environment, very open-minded, and kind of for the people that just don't enjoy traditional setting. Lots of bright kids there. And so Brandon was working there in the music department of Kansas City Academy, and mentioned there was an opportunity for me to get involved just kind of with the culture of the school, and I jumped over there and have since really got to know Barclay Martin, who's also there, who I didn't know previously but I had heard of. And
Barclay's another supporter of KKFI. He's been here many times.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's in charge of social justice over there. But yeah, the school's great, the music thing is great, so it's cool to share it with the jazz community.
Great. And so what are some other concerts you have coming up at this Grassroots concert series? Again, this is in the theater, in the school's theater, right?
Yeah, it's a small black box theater,
Okay.
so it holds about 75 people, and it's a black box, so the seats are raked like stadium seating, so the stage is actually the lowest point in there, so you can see right down to what everyone's doing. And I got interested in starting the series after just doing one of our traditional music concerts, which is very untraditional compared to most schools, where we play, there's a rock band and we have a world percussion ensemble, and it's a little different. But I was sitting in the audience and it was really comfortable. I just kind of forgot what I was there as a teacher, and just, was comfortable watching the kids perform, and thought, man, this would be a really wonderful environment to see some of the performers in Kansas City come in, and also traveling musicians. And I've already spoken with some folks I can't go on record to say yet for this summer that are pretty exciting to come in. But one of the folks we have coming up next week, Dave Pietro will be at the Blue Room in downtown 18th and Vine Jazz District. Dave's a really fantastic saxophone player from New York City. The Blue Room
when is it?
It's Friday, February 17.
Okay.
And so we'll do the 3 sets or 4 sets of music Friday night at the Blue Room, and then we're also going to play the next night at the Grassroots concert series, so it'll be a smaller environment, and it'll just be the one set of music, but then there'll be a talkback, so it'll be, I think, interesting for folks if they catch the first show, to be able to hear again in a smaller environment, but then get to interact creatively through discussion. And we have all of the discussions are moderated by a professional outside of the ensemble, so that way it brings a fresh perspective to what they're doing. But that's our next one. So Alla Turca, February 10. Then Dave Pietro is on the 18th. And then there's a few more in March, and then we'll be releasing our next round of performers after that. But we're trying to stick to 2 concerts per month, and just keep it as carefree as possible, so everybody involved is just having a great time, and just the enjoyment of community-based arts.
Well, speaking of community-based arts, you've segued perfectly back to the reason that you all are here, and that's supporting KKFI. And I'm going to give you that number one more time in just a second. But don't forget the Kansas City Academy Grassroots Concert Series, curated by my guest, Brandon Draper. And you can go to kcacademy.org/music for details about that series and those shows. You can also go to AmericanJazzMuseum.com for details about the show at the Blue Room down at 18th and Vine. And so this is the kind of information you can only get here at KKFI, bringing you close to the artists and the people making the music, also educators in the community. And so I hope you appreciate that. So give us a call here at 888-931-0901. That's 888-931-0901. Or you can go to the website at kkfi.org. Well, we were talking about Dave Pietro, great saxophonist, and Brandon's going to be playing drums with him a couple times next weekend. And so let's hear some Dave Pietro. Why don't you tell us about what we're about to hear?
What we're going to hear is a piece called Ajna, which is Sanskrit for the sixth. It's the sixth chakra, and Dave wrote a piece called the Chakra Suite, where he used Indian, South American, Brazilian music, and the only organizing factor was the chakras. And this piece is called Ajna. It features Adam Cruz on drums. And I don't have the rest of the track listing.
The rest of the band is Rez Abbasi on the guitar, Gary